Good morning, viewers. This is Immaculate. I'm going to talk about information resources in school libraries. What do I mean by information resources? Information resources, these are resources or materials that provide knowledge for study. We have various information resources in school libraries, and they are categorized in various formats. And these are as follows. 1, we have printed materials. Printed materials are written documents in form of writing. We have books, we have magazines, we have newspapers, we have journals and reports. We also have electronic resources. Under electronic resources, we have ebooks, we have online database, we have digital journals and webs. We also have resources, audio visual resources, where these resources we have videos, we have CDs, we have DVDs and broadcasts. We also have resources like human resources. Under human resources, we have teachers, we have researchers, we have historical experts. And then also lastly, the resources you find in school libraries. We also have archived resources. Under archived resources, we have historical resources. Those are cultural resources. And even geographical resources. Now, under these information resources, basically I'm going to talk about the criteria or the methods on how to assess these information resources. The methods or guidelines how a student can assess information he wants in a school library. One method or guideline, a student has to look at the authority of the book or of the information. Authority, I mean, he has to look at who wrote the book, who is the author, who is the owner of the source, who published the source. That is one thing. I mean that when I talk about the author, I mean, for example, we may have an author in a certain name. So he has to look at who is the owner of the source. Another point is the relevance of the information. When I mean the relevance of the information, he has to determine or to know which information he wants. Is the information relevant to his need? That is it. Is the information relevant to the assignment is given to? Will that information help him to get the knowledge or to do the assignment assigned to him or her? And another point is about the currency of the information. When we talk about the currency of the information, he has to check the recent dates, the recent information, the recent topics, This is mainly on subjects, science courses, science subjects. He has to check the currency of the information. He has to check the date. Is the information current? Is it valid on the assignment given to him? Is the information in line with the topic he's searching for? And another thing about the guideline or the criteria, the format and the accessibility of the information. He has to evaluate the resource. Is on how is the resource easy to search, or is the resource is how to evaluate the resource or the format. Is the resource, you are talking about the format, is the resource in format of printed format or electronic format in a digital way. So when you're looking at the resource in the student library, or when you're finding the resource, some resources are in format of printed, as we said, or electronic or in a digital format. The accuracy of the information. When you look at the accuracy of the information, is the information without errors? Is the information has correct grammar, English? Is the information accurate to its needs, to the need of the student? So in my conclusion, I would like to give some tips on how to assess, or the students, I would like to give them some tips. One tip is you have to look at the author's credibility. Check experts, check authors that are expert. I'll give an example. In Uganda, we have MK publishers. Those are experts. We have Longman publishers. Then another trick is how you evaluate the source. Look at, is the source trustful source? Such trustful source, you get them in textbooks, academic journals, government websites. You go to government websites. Those are some of the tips. You also look at the publication date of what? Of the content. So those are some of my tips I give. Thank you for listening to me. Subscribe for more videos.